the one that I found right at the beginning was you had the option of like spending some time during your escape gathering resources and stuff like that.
Quick time event? Yeah.
Mash it. Come on. Hey now, you're an all-star. See, it's Mash Mouth.
Oh, that was good.
It's never been better.
That's good.
That's your first kill. You've taken a human life. So.
Feels good. I think I'm going to taste for it.
All right, good. But in the escape in Far Cry 5, there's this moment where you, I think they're going to shoot the bridge and then you're going to have to fall.
No, I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it.
Fine.
I'm going to make it. Oh, this is what making it looks like.
Doofta. There you go. But yeah, you can basically spend some time gaining some resources and like picking up your first gun and killing a couple bad guys, or you can just run. I was like, I'm going to get a feel for the game. I'm going to get this pistol. I'm going to do what I can. And there's a bit where there's a trailer, and in front of that trailer there's a fire, and there's one guy by the fire. And I'm like sneaking around. I've killed 3 guys at this point. I see the guy. I'm like, I'm going to stealth kill him, drag him into the trailer, get whatever's in there, keep going. I do the stealth kill.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I get up behind him, and I get my knife in him, and it's a whole thing. And then he disappears. He, like, shadow walks.
Oh.
And I'm still in the animation, so the animation ends, and I step back and I move, and he suddenly shadow walks back into exactly where he was.
Oh.
And he still hasn't seen me. So I go and I get him again, but this time I go mid-animation, and then he steps like 3 feet away from me, and he turns to me and he goes, ah! Like he's seen me. And I'm like,
oh.
Okay. So then the animation ends. He's shot me like twice. And I'm like, oh. And he shadow walks away. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then he reappears a second later. And I shoot him 3 times. And I see the blood. And then he disappears.
Have you considered that you might just be a superhero?
And then I go into the trailer because I'm afraid that he's going to alert people to me. I reload my gun. He reappears. And he's still pointing to where I was saying, I see him now! And I've got an alert meter, but he's pointing 180 degrees away from me.
Oh, man.
So that was...
Yeah.
So I just sprinted the fuck out of there and called it a day. But I was terrified that I was dealing with like Azazel or Nightcrawler or something.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it.
Or like Albert Wesker from the Resident Evil games.
Oh, sure. Actually,
shadow stepping.
No, actually, I understand that reference just enough to get the reference.
Just barely, yeah.
Also, I realized you and I would have very opposite reactions to this.
Oh, yeah.
Waking up in a strange location to somebody giving us a free tattoo.
Mm-hmm. If somebody was giving me a free tattoo, I'd look at it, see if it was any good. Then give them a, like, keep going.
Just be like, if it isn't offensive, we can keep going. Where me, I'd be like, oh, don't. That's my perfect body.
Oh, man. That is what we refer to as a Bowie machete.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of the serrated teeth on the back of the blade.
Like David Bowie had.
Exactly. He had serrated teeth on the back of his neck.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like cultural appropriation, TBQH.
I mean, this game is literally like the epitome of white savior culture. Like, it's not great.
No.
The strong and powerful resistance of the people of this island have been waiting for you, Jason Chad, Jason Wall Street, Jason White Parents, to come and save them from Voss.
And like, thank goodness I came. What were these people doing without me?
See, again, I got a lot of beef with Far Cry 5, but that's one thing that I kind of liked about the way that it was starting structured, is that it's not like you're some white person rolling up into some sort of foreign culture and saving them. At very least, you're a white person killing white people. Like this.
That's where the bar's at these days.
Yeah. And honestly, Far Cry 4 did a good job of this because you are a descendant of the people of Kulat. Kulat is supposed to be like sort of a fictional sort of Indian nation, like a think East Asian India sort of thing. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of like tiger and elephant imagery and a lot of like meditation and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Mm-hmm. But you're a direct descendant of the person who started the resistance, so you are a Kulat national who's coming back. So that's a good little story thing.
I'm sure that's better than this.
Yeah.
Thanks for this money, man.
There's a lot of game theories about how the fact that this is just like some vacationing white kids like drug trip fantasy because it's like I'm gonna save them. I've got money for guns. I'm unkillable.
It's just Westworld.
It's just Westworld.
Yeah.
This is probably just Westworld.
I remember when this came out. For similar reasons, people thought that there would be things you could find that would link this into Assassin's Creed. That this would be like them monetizing that essentially. The whatever you call it.
The synchronizing the. God damn it.
Yeah, but the synchronizing, goddamn it.
You know the one.
Well, exactly enough for a
Up on the D-pad is it gets you your camera, and your camera is your surveyor essentially. Like if you are looking over an outpost.
Mm-hmm.
And you hit up on the D-pad, you pull out the camera, and then you can mark each of the enemies that are within sight. So you can tell what type of enemy they are and where they're moving.
Oh, okay.
It's your tracking thing. In Blood Dragon...
how do I weapons?
Hit B. Hit select.
Select.
Now, hit start. Bumper to the left. Eesh, bumper to the thing that looks like an urn. No. Hit B and leave this area. Leave this little room.
Follow me, my friend.
Now press select.
Not yet.
Maybe you just don't have access to it yet. You got some free weapons.
There it is.
But yeah, in Blood Dragon, it's Rex Power Colt's robot eye that you use to survey the scene.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And in 4, I believe it's also a camera. It might be binoculars, but then in 5, it's binoculars. Scramblers.
I mean, camera works just fine, I guess, but it's a little lackluster.
The Animus.
Animus, nice.
Thank you.
Got it. But yeah, people thought this was the Animus. Oh, suddenly I have a gun.
There you go. Well, you can't draw your weapon when you're in a friendly environment.
I see. Does he want me to shoot these targets, I think?
We could have read the subtitles.
We could have, but...
Shoot, there's bullets on the ground. They're flashing, so go ahead. I don't think it's anything. That's just mise en scène. For those of you paying attention who did not grow up in Canada or go to film school, mise en scène is a French term for... Essentially, it translates to what makes the scene.
Yeah.
And it's a term that's used in film to describe when you show don't tell your story by explaining things about characters and things about progress and information by showing their environment. So
yeah, I mean it's basically just the environment. It's not always directly related to character. Like Wes Anderson does a really good mise en scène, which has a lot of subtle things about characters, but isn't necessarily about the characters.
No, absolutely. It's a setting of the stage that can relate to things about the character or things about the time and the place. Amélie, French movie Amélie, 2005.
I saw it, but that's because I'm a Canadian person who went to high school.
It's Amélie has some of the best mise en scène of any film, and I mean it is a French movie. So
did I just die?
You're fine.
I just get bit by a snake.
Yeah, you're fine. Look, you just got a little bit of red. If he bit you more times, you'd be dead.
Okay.
You know what they say: red before yellow, always mellow. Red before black, bite your sack.
Just to be clear, because this is a survival thing, it's the other way around.
Oh, I know.
It's I know you know. I wanted our listeners to know that it's the other way around in case they see.
This is a tutorial for survival in the real actual.
Yeah, it's red beside black, you're okay, Jack. Red beside yellow, you're a dead fellow.
No, I believe it's
That's the way I learned it.
Yellow and red, wish you were dead. Red and yellow, drink some mellow yellow.
So you're in a bad way either way.
Yeah, no matter what, even if you got to drink the mellow yellow, you're putting that in your body.
Snakes, all snakes, deadly.
It's true. Every snake will kill you.
Mm-hmm. Some with venom, some with
There was a period of time
subtle political intrigue.
When my sister, when she was in first year of university,
mm-hmm.
she it was at the period of time where the term snake was constantly used to refer to somebody who pretended to be a friend but was not trustworthy. and she had in residence at the university we all went to. There's whiteboards on the door, and you would. I turned my whiteboard into a work of art. I drew Nicolas Cage, photorealistic. I drew Scott Pilgrim directly out of a panel. I drew Sharktopus.
Nice.
I did a really good drawing of Scott Snyder's Batman. The Court of Owls.
Yeah.
But my sister just had "Watch out, it's snake season" written on her whiteboard for like 3 months.
That's so good.
Yeah.
Open the map with select.
Boom. So, much in the way of Assassin's Creed, you've just opened up the rest of the world because you climbed a tower and looked at it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, a la Assassin's Creed once again. So, this is the Animus, obviously.
Yeah. A la Far Cry up until 4, and Assassin's Creed up until Origins, I guess. Jesus. Origins was the first Assassin's Creed game that didn't have a climb the tower function.
Oh, yeah?
Remember that one? We played that one.
Yeah.
Bayek
but
in
it
Egypt.
yeah. I mean, you still could.
I mean, you still could climb things, but it didn't have this, you have to climb the tower to unlock the map, that every other Assassin's Creed game had.
Oh, no. It was just for fast travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's a funny thing in Far Cry 5 where when you first get whipped up by that game's version of Dennis, a guy who kind of looks like, Jeff Bridges in Iron Man 1, like bald, beardy, burly, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like an Obadiah Stane type. He's the guy who saves you and Dennises you in that game. And the first thing he asks you to do is the bad guy, the father, John Seed, has put like a lock on his radio tower that he uses to contact the people. And so the first thing he does is like go climb up that tower and break the thing. And as you're climbing, you're like, man, I am not built for this. And he radios into you, and he's like, "Don't worry, kid. I'm not gonna have you climbing towers all over the goddamn county." And that's the only tower you ever climb in the game.
Oh, that's so
it's like
good.
they're like thumbing their own eye with that joke.
That's great.